What's up guys, welcome back, Rush Duels. You probably already have heard, right? I mean, it has been known for a couple of months now. Rush Duels, very similar to Speed Duels here in the TCG, but Rush Duels due to the new Yugioh series, Yugioh 7s, right? It's again very similar to Speed Duels, but there are some differences probably. I'll leave like the correct rulings in the video description or a pinned comment, right? But I mean, it's basically there are multiple amounts of normal summons. There is no restriction on summons. So it's basically vomit your entire hand to the field, and both players start with 5 cards, and again at the start of your turn you'll draw cards up until you have 5 cards in your hand. That excludes your opening turn, since you'll still get a draw phase of opening with 6 cards. But these are the two structured decks, or starter decks, I have to say, from Yuga and Luke, I believe their names are. It's basically Yuga's deck is focused on spellcasters, while Luke's deck is focused on dragon types. And it feels quite similar to, you know, Yugi Kaiba, because like the Yuga's deck has a mirror force. I mean, they have 2 spells, 2 traps, while a lot of normal monsters and a lot of some effect monsters, that is, but it feels that the spellcaster deck, Yuga's deck, is a bit more powerful. It's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, there is no restriction again upon summons you can do, so it's basically summon your lower levels to the field and tribute them for higher levels, and then depending on which monster effects you have, you can try to combat against your opponent and, you know, put them into defense position, or just put, and this is good old school Yu-Gi-Oh!, put a bigger monster on the field compared to your opponent. The couple of traps here, the 2 spell and traps from Yuga's deck. One is a Mystical Space Typhoon, the one you see here, Magical Stream, that's a Mystical Space Typhoon. And the other one is the Axe of Despair. You need to discard the card, and then your monster will gain 1000 attack boost until the end phase. The 2 traps are sweet. One of them is a Mirror, this one, that's the Mirror Force Dark Liberation, but it comes with a small cost. You need to send 4 spellcasters from your graveyard back to the deck, and again, it's a Mirror Force. It's fantastic here in this duel, right? Or Rush Duels. The other trap basically gives your monster a 500 attack boost, so that's cool, but that's it. I mean, but here in these duels it can be very important, since, as you see, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Like in the beginning, battling is very crucial to get rid of your opponent's monsters. While in the dragon deck, Luke's deck is of course based around dragons. And as you see here, I mean, you can set your monsters and basically just tribute them for higher, bigger beat sticks, right? As what happens here. The traps, I believe, from Luke's side, from the dragon deck, I believe there's a trap that special summons a dragon type from the hand. As soon as your opponent summons a card. This spell is like a Raigeki. You have to discard like 3 dragons. Your opponent's to Raigeki your opponent's board, and after that you can special summon a lower level dragon from your graveyard. So that's cool, but here in this case, in Rush Duels, it's like, meh, whatever. Okay, I lose my monster board, but again, I can just draw 5 new cards next turn. This is the big beat stick, the big boss from Luke's deck. Both of the boss monsters from both, you know, duelists here have a very similar effect. Mill the top card of your deck. The dragon can attack twice, while Yuga's boss monster gains attack, I believe, like 304. Is it attributes? I'm not sure about that. I think so. But yeah, just mirror force the entire field away, and you know, the rules are very similar to Speed Duel, and I sometimes make mistakes because of that, since I'm not a huge Speed Duel player. I'm not into speed dueling, but there is no main phase 2, so sometimes you'll see me like, okay, I can set my mirror force in main phase 2, but that's not the case. You can't do that, so it's just main phase 1, battle phase, and end phase. That's basically it. So make sure you, and that's completely counterproductive of what we are used to with, you know, regular duels, is just set your cards, your traps, for example, in main phase 2. That's not possible here. So 2 small beat sticks, but again, double Axe of Despair. It gives my monster the necessary attack boost. So again, going second, the 6th card here for dragons. That's all cool. I mean, weak monsters. The tribute summon on its own is also quite weak. This is a good one. The level, not really sure, level 3, it's like discard the spellcaster to draw 1 card. That's good, because again, there is no summon restriction, and it gives you more spellcasters in the grave to fuel your mirror force, and at the same time gives you more chances of drawing into your key cards. I mean, bigger boss monsters, that is. and indeed keeping that one draw. So discard one, draw one. It actually helps out drawing into the Mirror Force. So set it and get my big beat stick, my boss on the field. And okay, yeah, one of the traps here from dragons is, I believe when a dragon is destroyed, you can activate the trap, and it's basically Raigeki break. So pop one monster from your opponent. Mirror Force away, keep my dragons on the field, draw 5. Mystical Space Typhoon off the cards away. Ah, yeah, there is a trap. I believe that trap also exists in regular Yu-Gi-Oh! I believe it's called Begone Knife? So it's something like that. It's very old card. Legacy of Darkness or Labyrinth of Nightmare. Not really sure about that, but it special summons a dragon from your hand. Basically getting a bigger dragon on the field, and again, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard so it can attack twice. Lose my field, but, well, we are playing Rush Duels. You can just draw 5 again. This wins. Discard one, put one monster from the opponent in defense position, or to attack position. And here is where I forgot to set my Mirror Force. I mean, not forgot, but I was like, okay, main phase 2, right? But nope. That's not the case, so that was my mistake. But as you saw, is and I lose because of that. Yeah, okay. Whatever, right. Next example, next duel. So I'm going first here. Normal summoning the big beat stick. It's only 1600, but it can put a monster from your opponent into defense or attack position, depending on the position. Flip over my spellcaster so I can use my Mystical Space Typhoon. Normal summon the water, discard and draw, and then use my Axe of Despair, discard, so I can gain 1000 attack boost, but his boss, 2100 is too big. Mirror Force away, so I can keep my board, and much more important, I can keep my discard one, draw one on the field. There is a dragon, but again, not devastating, just go into the battle phase, deal some damage. Not really sure what my sets are. There is the Mirror Force, the Axe of Despair. Ah, okay, and the middle one is a trap that gives me the 500 extra attack boost. And that's the difference. I mean, this deck has a free Mirror Force, pops your opponent's entire monster board, while the Dragon deck, Luke's deck, also has like a Raigeki, Raigeki, but it comes with a heavy cost, like this one. Discard 3 and then, you know, okay, pop your opponent's monsters and then reboard something, but it's a big cost. While, again, following it up, it's much more difficult, and that's of course the big difference between Yuga's deck is just Mirror Force away, right? Unless of course your opponent has the Mystical Space Typhoon. It looks like Sparks, that's the one. So anyway, a couple of small beat sticks on my side of the field. I don't think I have a Mirror Force set, I believe it's the Axe of Despair, right? Finally get my big beat stick on the field, so Tribute Summon away, Axe of Despair as well, set my trap that gives my monster 500 extra attack boost if my opponent declares an attack. This is actually a good one, like the Fire Dragon guy. Discard one and get the dragon from your deck, from your graveyard, yeah, indeed, from your graveyard back to the hand. So it's basically to get one of your big bosses back to the hand, right? This should be game, I think. Or, yeah, this should be game, right? Put it in defense position and then just, indeed, deal the last damage and attack for a game. So, it's, well, these are Rush Duels. Again, this is the first time we've tried out Rush Duels, at least on my behave. Personally, I'm not too familiar with speed duels, but it's quite, again, it's very straightforward. I might ask my girlfriend to, you know, try out these Rush Duels, since it's basically early Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not that hard, pretty straightforward. But again, the big difference is that you don't need to be conservative. Well, sometimes, but here in this case you can just normal summon everything away, and, you know, during a next turn you'll draw until you have like a full hand, right? So between both these starter decks from Yuga's and from Luke's deck, I feel that purely based on these couple of duels is that Yuga's deck is a bit stronger, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, and pretty logical due to, for example, the Mirror Force, maybe the boss monsters as well, or, you know, the regular monsters. The draw one, the water one, the level 3 one, discard one, draw one is also quite powerful to, you know, get like a draw engine and draw into your bigger boss monsters. But this is actually quite fun. I mean, if you want to see more Rush Duels, like always, feel free to leave a like, feel free to leave suggestions of maybe cards that that we've missed, that I should try out, or decks that I should try out here in Rush Duels. Again, like always, feel free to leave that down below, since with the new simulator, it's possible to play Rush Duels online, right? Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So again, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Thanks for watching, feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the Rush Duels. Lithium signing out. Peace.